I'm Marnix from de Graag op weg and welcome to my big passage plan from Nieuwpoort to Lanzarote. Before my departure, first to Ostende and Bruges with standing mast. Good morning, sail friends. It will be a long time before I will passing here with this boat again. It's a beautiful day, and today I will start my longest single-handed passage ever. I try to make in one passage to enter Hallberg Marina. And this is how I cooking on induction on my Himmel stove. So, and look where I am now. Let's take a look where I'm now. So guys, this is A Coruña. It's my first offshore blue water track that I've ever made. The longest passage 520 miles from Cherbourg. Plan A was to do it directly from Nieuwpoort, where the weather make other decisions. The weather was not good enough to do it in one track. I need to do first Nieuwpoort Cherbourg. I did it single-handed, and then I take crew members with me to do Cherbourg to A Coruña. After this, the next stop will be Vigo normally. It depends on the weather. That's sailing, of course. After sailing to Vigo, next stop will be Porto, then Lisbon, and then I will make a stop to not Faro, it's Lagos. Like always, the last 20 or 30 miles are the heaviest. When I arrived in Cherbourg 20 miles before I was in the marina, it was not so far. I have a thunderstorm. I need to put my sails away and waiting after the storm to enter the marina. Here in A Coruña we have the opposite. 30 miles before the marina there was no wind anymore. And if you have no wind with big waves, that's not funny. Then you need to use the engine. And there was a lot of traffic also. You become tired after 3 days and a half. And then you need to have a very good watch to the traffics. And yeah, like always, the last miles are the heaviest. We saw only one sailboat when we leave Quessan, the beginning of the blue water sail. And he follows 2 days after we didn't see him again. And we look to the IS, which boat it was. And you never believe it, that boat stay at the same pontoon in Nieuwpoort as my boat. How small is the world of sailors sometimes. I'm very surprised what a boat can do. How he go to the big waves and how the autopilot also do the corrections for steering his course. I'm very surprised. The plan was to make a video about the preparations of my boat, but it was so lot of work that I also, the first place, concentrate me on everything I need to do. I don't can make video and concentrating to do good work on my boat. But if you want it, you can leave it in the descriptions below. I can make a tour of the boat, of what I all prepared to do a bigger trip than only day sailing or weekend sailing in the home port. So from here at Coruña to Lisbon, my wife will join me for sailing, and from Lisbon I go sailing single-handed from Lisbon to Lagos. And after Lagos, the first plan was to sail directly to Lanzarote single-handed, but I changed my plans. I'm go to Porto Santo in Madeira. That's closer, it's not so many days and I have time, and I see mostly the winds are more optimal to have a broad reach. And beam reach sails better than downwind, and I see it will be better to go first to Madeira and then cross over to Lanzarote. And if I want to come back to Europe, that's the same, because that's very difficult to go directly from Lanzarote to Portugal, because you are straight into the wind and that's not a course that you can sail. And if you go to Madeira, you can go close to the wind and then cross to Portugal even close to the wind. It will be less comfortable, of course, but that's the only way, because the most time you have northern winds in that region of the Atlantic. So you can see the marina here has a lot of swell. The whole night, the whole time. I put extra ropes there, but the boat, it's now at this moment very calm, but the boat dances the whole day here, so you can see also the other boats. It's the dancing marina here. At my home port it's always very quiet, but here the boat dances the whole day. Good to sleep, no problem of the noise, but I'm a little bit afraid of my ropes. I make around the turns that I learned in the courses of sailing to keep my ropes in a good condition. We needed to cancel the plans to stop at Vigo and the Sais Islands. It was impossible to tack over the corner at Finisterre. We lose some days and we make a directly sail from A Coruña to Porto. There is a big difference between the weather in the Bay of A Coruña and after the corner of Finisterre. A lot of changing plans. My wife has her flight from Lisbon, but we make it until Porto. She needed to take the train until Lisbon, and from now on, I'm single-handed until Lanzarote. After a 48 hours sail to Porto, I sail another 48 hours single-handed to Portimao. And from Portimao I start my cross to Porto Santo. On my course to Porto Santo I suspect an easy sail on a beam reach, but the big side waves gives me a total new experience. the Atlantic. So, here I'm leaving Madeira for 4 days single-handed sail to Lanzarote. In Lanzarote my wife and joined me again and we make a nice trip to Fuerteventura and back. It was a nice sail of many miles and lucky to not have any technical problems. I only lost my drone on my first takeoff on anchor. The rolling of the boat hit the drone and the drone is now forever in Lanzarote. It's here fine, Laura. You enjoying your breakfast? Here at this nice spot. You can see the anchor on the ground and the chain.